Okay. Well, I'm going to make mint chip Italian ice. Now, obviously, mint chip is an ice cream flavor. But a good friend of ours who owns Ralph's Ices in Staten Island and has multiple locations was down visiting my wife and I over at our other office in the South Florida. And we were talking about ice cream sales. He was thinking about, where's my future? What am I going to do? And we said, ice cream doesn't sell that well in Florida. And didn't until we moved down here, until after about 4 years, it dawned on me, why not? Ice cream is dairy fat, just like eating a big steak. And that dairy fat in this 90-degree temperature and this 100% humidity, you come outside into the parking lot at noon and it'll make you sweat. It might give you a stomach ache. It might even give you a headache. But the body doesn't like that high fat. You go to Ruth Chris or some other great steakhouse and have, a big 16-ounce porterhouse and then walk out in that noonday sun and you're going to feel awful. So the people in Florida, they don't know why they don't eat ice cream. They just know that it just doesn't make them feel well, so they don't. What we did is what we're running today. The federal government says in order for ice cream to be ice cream, it has to be a minimum of 10% dairy fat, and up in New York and other places it's 12, 14, 16. In New York, where we were located for 100 years, I would have, if Christi had a store in Manhattan and she was running 14% butterfat, a very high fat, Haagen-Dazs is 16. If she's running 14, I would run 16 just for bragging rights. I'm the richest ice cream in New York City. That's not a good reason, but that's what we did. So we all moved down here, invade Florida, invade Texas, Louisiana, Arkansas, and we bring our high-fat ice cream concepts with us. And that's why it doesn't sell. It's too high fat for the market. So Ralph's Ices looked at this, and I told him that story, and he goes back to Staten Island and he says, well, why couldn't we make Italian ice using ice cream flavors? We've always done lemon, cherry, grape, orange, chocolate. Why mango? Why can't we do Oreo cookie Italian ice? Well, you can't do it because it's an ice cream flavor. And that's what we're going to do today is we're going to make mint chip Italian ice. Now, it's going to be a little bit on the fly because I did this mathematically. I'm going to use the small machine, and if I was using this to make mint chip ice cream, I would put in a certain amount of mint extract and mint color, all natural, and my chocolate chips. For the Italian ice, let me backtrack. This dairy product, a glass of milk, has taste. You drink milk, it's got a particular taste to it. Water, on the other hand, has no taste. So when we make ice cream, we're dealing with something that already has taste. We joke, 11 o'clock at night, you were tired, you forgot to put the vanilla in. Well, we're not going to throw the product out, we'll just sell it as sweet cream ice cream. It has no flavor in it. Still tastes like ice cream. But water just doesn't have any taste. So what was the problem and how do we fix it? We increase the amount of flavor into the water. The only flavor we're going to get, we're not going to get any flavor from dairy, we're going to get only from water. So basically I just doubled the amount of flavor that goes in here. Now I do things mathematically and then, like Jeff, taste it and see if it worked. But the math gives me a starting point every single time. So far this is winging it, and we'll taste it and see if it's going to work.
I do not know your formula.
Oh, it's right there.
Okay.
So we're going to start with 4 quarts of tap water.
Is that yours? You need it?
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. Yell at me.
2 pounds of cane sugar. I'll get the chocolate chips.
Okay.
Where are the chocolate chips? Here they are. Any questions? No? I don't know, Jeff. We have to do our greatest Broadway hits if they don't wake up.
It's early.
I have really perfected my act of you got to have a gimmick, and I'm thinking we could do that song.
Okay. I'm game.
How many bags? These are 10 ounces, I think. How many would you put into the CB350? How many would you put into the 24 quart?
What's the? Oh, I would put in a 1 quart container filled.
Okay. It's into a 24 quart?
Yeah.
Into a 24 quart.
Yeah.
So probably 1 bag into here.
Probably. Well, you'll see. You'll see
Maybe
what
a
it looks
little
like.
more.
Maybe a little more. More is always better.
The reason I'm asking Jeff is if you go overboard on chips, all of a sudden you've got a product you can't scoop because it's got so many chips in it that it won't hold together.
And it doesn't
falls
taste
off.
that good because you're constantly chewing chips.
Yes.
Chips should be an addendum to the ice cream.
Did I tell you I spoke to a customer the other day? They're going back into the business, and they used to do every topping on earth. I mean, sprinkles and jujubes and everything, M&Ms. And they said, this time we want to do what Jeff does, and we just want to go plain and simple. Because Jeff made a comment, and you're just alluding to it now, that the more junk you throw on top of the finished ice cream, or even sometimes into the ice cream, you're taking away from the ice cream. How can I tell it's raspberry if I've just put butterscotch sauce all
The
over it?
classic example is our best-selling, most famous ice cream is coconut. So what happens when the customer walks up and says, I'll have the coconut, can I have hot fudge on that?
Oh.
And now
Ow.
what are they going to, they're not going to taste your ice cream. You might as well put, store-bought stuff. And that's the way I feel. I'm a purist. I make the best ice cream in the world, and now so do they, right? And if you're going to make the best product in the world, why put something on it that's going to lessen it, take away from it? I know people want hot fudge sundaes, they want banana splits, they want crushed pineapple on it.
Move some of this over. Maybe I will mix it.
Screw them.
So we are really going for keep it simple. Stupid.
Well, keep it good.
Yeah. So Christi has measured out 4 quarts of water, and the sugar here is 2 pounds of cane sugar. If you're watching this video, the formula is already at the website, incorporated into the video.
You might move that bottle there. You might move that bottle from the edge of the table.
Oh, you don't trust me, huh? Okay. So cane sugar dissolves very nicely in water, cold water, and so I'm only going to have to stir it for about 30 seconds.
How does beet sugar dissolve?
Oh, we're not getting into that. Maybe we will. I lost my train of thought. If we end up, we just put 2 pounds of sugar in here. If I'm pouring this in, and there's a little stream of sugar left over that didn't get dissolved, don't worry about it. Forget about it. It's nothing compared to 2 pounds. So we're not that critical in the formula.
Did you just say, forget about it?
Well, I'm from New York. I did meet, I got to tell you this story because we have an executive chef in the audience. An executive chef, he did the most wonderful thing I've ever seen because they have so much more knowledge than us. And he was making a product, an ice cream, and he tasted it, and he thought about it. And he looked at the bag of sugar with him, and he thought about some more. And then he goes over to the bag of sugar and goes like that into the mix, 5 gallons. And we're all going, wow. And sometimes it is show. It's wonderful, wonderful show. You gotta have a gimmick. Okay.
You gotta have a gimmick.
Close the gate. The last thing Christi did last night was to sanitize the machine.
I did not.
Well,
What you're about to
somebody
say I did.
sanitized the machine, and of course you leave it open to air dry. So then the next morning you come along and you're pouring the product in, it's going all over the floor, you're cursing Emery Thompson, you're cursing Steve Thompson, the damn machine leaks, you left the gate open. You'll see us walk around, we go over and slap our machines, we just go boom on the handle, like that. See, it was left open. We just go like that just to make sure this one pulls down. Do close it because otherwise I can't stand all the hate.
I thought you were about to blame me for leaving a gate open, which I did.
You thought I was going to throw you under the bus.
I did. I'm like, I did no such thing.
That'll come later. After all, you're vice president in charge of sales and marketing. I'm allowed to throw you under the bus.
No, thanks.
You're welcome. All right, that all dissolved pretty good.
Oh, there's a little sugar left.
Okay.
Here's your 1.5 ounces of peppermint extract.
Okay.
And I need it back for your...
This is an all-natural peppermint extract. We get this from Green Mountain Flavors. Now, Green Mountain is You think of Green Mountain State, which is Vermont. He's not. He's in Oswego, Illinois. Green Mountain Flavors. And the president is Stan Sitten. This is our website. Stan is a genius at flavors. Every once in a while, my ego takes over, and I think I'm the smartest person in the business. And this little devil comes on my shoulder and says, "No, you're not. Stan Sitten is." And it's true. So you can make these products even with color, and
which I'm doing now.
okay, even with the color is made from plants, which is great. No more red dye 40 Oh, that's a lot.
You said 1.5.
Okay, let's try it.
That's just shy of an ounce.
I think we'll adjust it as we look at it. So
Okay.
right now we're at a just shy of an ounce. You know, if you put green color into a glass of water, nothing happens. It just gets muddy looking. So I had to go into Christi, and Mike is our senior tech on the board today. Hi, Mike.
Hi, Steve.
I had to go into their office and sit down with them and say, can we put color into water and have it not look muddy? And then I thought, let's see. When we make sugar and water and lemon juice, it's a clear color, but when it freezes, it turns pure white. That's what it looks like. Even if we leave the flavor out, it turns pure white. So it will probably turn green if I put this in. And to test it, we test every single machine here for about 3 hours before it goes out. Every single one of them. Not every fifth one, but every machine for 3 hours. Making sugar water. We have a big, big tank you'll see in the tour of sugar water. And so there was this leftover frozen sugar water, aka Italian ice with no flavor, and I threw some green in, boom, it worked perfectly. So have a pretty good idea what this is going to look like. I'm going to turn on the screen, I'm going to hit make ice cream, I'm going to go to Italian ice, more recipes, Italian ice. We have about 10 or 12 in here. That's on. I turn on the refrigeration switch immediately, because I know it's going to mix. It's going to take about 13 minutes. Ice cream's about 8. This will be about 13 because of the higher sugar content. So some of Jeff's ice creams take longer to freeze than mine because he puts more sugar in. So that's off and running. We're constantly making improvements on the machine. Right now what we've done is we've put a larger capacity motor in there for the fan. So you can hear it in the background, but it'll stand up to any kitchen anywhere in the world. Kitchens are hot. Questions so far?
So do you have like somebody that services your machines?
Do I have what?
Someone that services the machines, like in different areas?
Yes.
Where are they based at?
The question is about service. First, we have a service network around the country of independent service people. We're like the Culligan, not the Culligan man, but the dishwashers and washing machines. If you waited around for someone to call you to repair an Emery Thompson, you'd go broke. We have service 7 days a week, 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. All you have to do is call Emery Thompson. Our business hours are Eastern time, 8 a.m. to 3:30, and the factory opens up earlier. But you always call us first. Don't call your local refrigeration man, because we know 90% of the time it's going to be something you're doing wrong. Let me get a dasher to show you. This is the beater in the CB350. We use what I call Sherlock Holmes deductive reasoning. You call up and say, my machine has been running for 17 minutes and my Italian ice isn't frozen yet, or 20 minutes and my Italian ice isn't frozen yet. And I will say, how old is the machine? Well, we've had it for 4 years. Have you ever had a problem? No. What were you making today? Well, I wasn't. I'm down on my private island in the Caribbean, and my assistant is making cherry Italian ice. I said, okay, first off, have the assistant taste the product. And so we have them taste it, and they say, oh, it's awful. It tastes like water and cherry juice. I said, yeah, I know, because you left the sugar out of the formula. drag them out, shoot them in the kneecaps, and then fire them. If it's not that, if the formula is right, when you put the machine together, did you put it together properly with the two dots, which I'm going to show you? And they say, yeah, well, I'm on my Caribbean island, and I taught him how to do it, and she's only made the mistake 4 times. This blade, it's going to be impossible to see. Looks like it was cut off at a right angle here and a curvature here. The curvature goes to the back of the barrel to match the curvature of the back wall. If you flip the blade around and they look the same and they'll go on, then it won't freeze. It'll slosh it around and eventually freeze something, but it won't freeze properly. So we saw that so much, we drilled a little hole, a divot in here and in here. So when you put this into the machine, before you put the door on, you say, do I see a hole here and do I see a hole here? Your machine is working. And I tell this to people, and I had one last night, and the person insisted, almost up to the point of saying, listen, I've been making ice cream for 237 years, and I could never make such a rookie mistake. The person happened to be not in the building, and her assistant was making the ice cream, and she said the assistant has only made that mistake twice. And I said, they've done it again. No, it's impossible. I said, go back to the store, take the door off, take the dasher out, put it back together, and see if it doesn't run correctly. And call me back. They never call back. They're too embarrassed to call back. The point of all this is call us first. We've been building these for 117 years. We have tens of thousands of them out and running around the world. We know every inch of this machine better than anybody else. We don't have production delays from parts because we make almost all our parts. That's a casting from our foundry in Waukesha, Wisconsin. We have the main building here, a machine shop up the street, a machine shop across the street. What we don't build, we buy from USA companies. Emerson, Copeland compressors made in the USA, American-made motors. It's all USA made, so we know it's all reliable. So chances are 99% we can get you running in less than 5 minutes. But if there is a problem, if the switch went bad, if you had a problem with the cable on the infinite overrun control or something like that, we will ask you where you are, and then we will find the local refrigeration man who handles that area, and we will tell him what to do. Oftentimes in a restaurant or a large establishment, and I'll tell you right now, when you go into the ice cream business, when you bought your first home, didn't you go out and find the name of an electrician, and didn't you find a plumber? Because you know darn well you're going to need an electrician and a plumber. You need a refrigeration person on duty that you know you can call. Not for the Emery Thompson, but you've got dipping cabinets, you've got freezer cabinets, you've got all this refrigeration. You need someone you can call, just like you need a plumber and an electrician. So have that on hand, and then we will work with them, or we'll work with ours, and you call Mike on the phone, Mike McDonald, our senior tech, who knows more about these machines than I ever will, and he will guide your person through what we want to do. We're the largest manufacturer of batch freezers, and 117 years old. We invented the mechanized batch freezer. We got to be doing something right. And people say our service is second to none. Now, I'll tell you one more thing about that. If you'd bought a Taylor machine, who no longer builds batch freezers, if you had a Taylor machine and you called them up on Saturday night, like that example, that was actually Malik Rose, a famous basketball player, and he has multiple stores doing ices. They would have said to you, we'll have someone there Monday morning. I'm sorry you're having a problem, we'll have someone there Monday morning. They would have changed a part in the machine, an expansion valve, $250. They would have changed it. They would have then said, okay, make up your formula and we'll test run it. And it would have run because the formula is correct. The sugar's not missing. And you'd get a $500-600 bill, and you'd say, isn't that wonderful? I was only down for 2 days, albeit 4th of July weekend. I was only down for 2 days, but look, they came when they said, they fixed it, it cost me $700, I'm back in business. You call Emery Thompson, and you'll be back in business in 10 minutes because we know you left the sugar out of the formula because we asked you, what does it taste like? And quite frankly, on a weekend and a holiday, you'll get me on the phone. I have offices and telephones everywhere. I can't escape it. And I do it because I like to do it. And if I can't solve it, I text over to Mike McDonald. And if it's something he can do on the spot, he'll talk to you, or Slade Harmon, our vice president, will talk to you. Or otherwise, worst comes to worst, we'll have you fixed Monday morning. So we have you covered, we think, better than anybody else in the world. The only 2 days we don't work, Christmas and Easter. Anybody else? Questions? The chips. Ooh, it's green.
I put one back.
Oh, okay. You think that's enough, Jeff?
I think so.
Okay. So we stuck to the formula exactly. Actually, we took down the color a little bit, down to 1 ounce instead of 1.5 ounces. And when you see it, it's beautiful. Another Italian ice that is a true typical Italian ice, watermelon Italian ice. You know how you eat a watermelon that's got seeds? What do? You spit them out. That's half the fun as a kid of eating watermelon. So when I make a watermelon ice, I put in the mini Toll House chocolate chips. So now instead of spitting out seeds, you've got chocolate chips to eat. Nobody else does that. That just makes it fun. Where'd she go? I'll have Christi tell you about one of her formulas when she gets back. It's really amazing what's going on with Italian ices and cream ices, because we were stuck. Lemon, cherry, grape, orange, chocolate. When I first brought home mango to my 4 children, and they were young years and years ago, they would have eaten the frozen green beans before they would try Dad's, mango Italian ice. Now it's the number 2 selling flavor in the country after lemon. Lemon's still number 1. Mango's number 2. It's fantastic what we can do. And now we can do any flavor of ice cream that you want in an Italian ice. I'm going to just taste this and see what I think of it. Now that's still soupy, so it's not ready. Wow. The mint is too strong.
Too strong?
Too strong. And I can't recover from that. So I probably wouldn't sell this, but at least now.
What are you making, Italian ice?
Yeah.
Throw a quart of water in. Put water in here.
Okay. And how about a little sugar?
Whoa. Hurry up.
Yeah, I know. Our freezing time is gonna. I put too much extract in. Now, don't do what I'm doing. Write this down when we get to the formula. Write it down, because when it is perfect, you're going to say, oh, that's great. What do we do?
Hurry up.
All right, I'm coming. So now that's going to change the freezing time, because we just added warm product input. Christi, can you tell them about your new Italian ice, the orange cranberry? This is the best thing I've ever eaten.
Orange cranberry. I believe you guys all have the recipe for that one on your table. So it's so simple. It's orange juice and cranberry juice. That's it.
Don't speak up.
I'll step closer and louder.
Okay.
So I like to buy the brand Simply Orange Juice, because it's straight orange juice, and I get the high pulp. So that way your customers can see the pulp that's in there. And it is freshly squeezed orange juice. And then always buy the 100% cranberry juice, not the cranberry juice cocktail. So mixing those two together, it's a great flavor. And actually, we have little coolers that Gelato Supply sells, little styrofoam coolers that you can pack your ice cream into. And I actually took it to the beach with me in the 90-degree hot Florida weather, and stuck it in the bottom of the cooler. And about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, after I packed it at 6 o'clock in the morning, it was still frozen solid. So it's a great little cooler.
Now it's fixed.
Now it's fixed. Good, because I wanted to eat that pecan.
Okay, so especially Ken, our IT man in our Texas IT department, we're going to add 3 more cups of water and a cup of sugar to that formula. So we'll adjust that on the website. We're very precise. Jeff's, well, a little here and a little there. And
It worked.
I do the shimmy. I added a cup more sugar, 1 cup.
A quart of water and a cup of sugar.
No, I only added 3 cups of water. 3 cups of water. Any other questions so far? No?
I know. I bought this syrup to make for the candied maple bacon, and I had it sitting on my desk, and everybody at work thought I was drinking bourbon.
That's
Like,
because
it's maple syrup.
That's because the staff does drink bourbon.
We do.
Every Friday afternoon at the end of the day. And I allow it because it's not me doing it. I don't drink it. But my wife started this. She said this was a rough week. And so she went out and got a bottle of bourbon, which then turned into also a bottle of rum and some curacao and some cream of mint and a few other crazy things.
Yeah, we call it the booze drawer.
Every Friday afternoon, everybody gets 1 shot in the office, and we try to hide it from the factory floor. And it's just, we're a family business, and always have been, and I run it as such, which makes it, a lot of fun. Over 38,000 customers right now. If I asked them all for $5, I could retire.
You probably
Not
could.
bad. But then I wouldn't be able to ask them again.
Are you ready? You ready?
Now, since we threw warm water into it, warmer water, it's going to change the freezing time.
The compressor goes right off on this, right?
It automatically shuts itself on and off.
What do you mean?
Did you touch the
Yeah.
button?
Yeah.
Oh, is it ready?
Yeah.
Oh, go to it.
Oh, no, you do it. It's yours.
It also cycles itself on and off. Oh, that looks nice. There's no question but that's mint.
Shut it off.
Good. And Jeff, that was the right amount of chips. It looks very good. So we'll let you try this and see what you think. And now I've got a new flavor.
I could see it being something for St. Patty's Day.
Oh, absolutely. But this concept of taking ice cream flavors and turning them into Italian ice is just a great one. It just expands your business dramatically. Along the same lines that we can talk about later is dairy-free ice cream, which is basically an Italian ice, but instead of water, we're using either a coconut base, coconut milk, or oat milk. I've never seen an oat being milked, but I guess it happens. And it's great. It really is terrific. And it's targeting a specific age group. 21 to 39 are not in love with Haagen-Dazs the way us baby boomers are. And I call up my stores in New England who have been in business for 50, 60 years. They tell me how successful they are. And I say, when was the last time you saw a 38-year-old mother come in with her 5-year-old daughter to buy ice cream? And they go, well, I don't know. It must happen sometime. I said, no, it's not. You're missing that whole market. And don't tell anybody, but us baby boomers we have an end date. And you need to replace us with other customers. So thus, even though you don't like the word vegan, we couch it now with dairy-free vegan frozen dessert. It's a trend. It's not a fad.